Did you know that every minute 20 football fields worth of forests are destroyed due to deforestation? The more forests that are destroyed, the more harm that is brought upon every species in existence, including humanity. The world's last rainforests are vanishing. The World Resources Institute regards deforestation as one of the world's most pressing land use problems. Despite a determined international campaign waged for years by many conservation and government organizations, the irresistible forces of population growth and rural poverty are consuming the lush tropics as never before. Environmentalists predict that more than half of the Earth's total species will be extinct by the middle of this century. Global warming, holes in the ozone layer, rising water levels, erosion of topsoil, lower quality of air, and ultraviolet rays from the sun are plaguing this planet like never before. All of this is a direct result of global population increase and the loss of natural habitats and forests that prevent these disasters. Anti-deforestation activists struggle for the protection of animals, natural habitats, and forests, arguing that their loss is irreplaceable and the Earth will become unable to sustain a sufficient balance. In turn, this endangers the human race. Anti-deforestation activists base their arguments on the simple statistics and facts that when one cuts down forests, irreversible damages are inflicted on the local ecosystem. Eventually, when forests are eliminated, damage will begin to show worldwide. This is truly a compelling argument. The more forests that are destroyed, the more harm that is brought upon every species in existence, including humanity. If humanity is to survive, it has to slow its population growth, and more specifically, slow the cutting down of trees and forests and the ruining of the Earth's ecosystems. According to the Greenpeace, scientists predict that the Earth is entering the sixth major extinction event in this history. According to anti-deforestation activists, the destruction is so bad that a vast number of species will go extinct before they are ever found. This is extremely wasteful and impedes the advancement of humanity. Locked away to what's left of the forests and jungles of the world could lay secrets and medicines that could potentially cure the majority of diseases and viruses that plague humanity today. According to National Resources Defense Council, forests are home to 92% of the world's ferns, 75% of world's mosses, and 70% of the world's plants with cancer-fighting agents. Vaccines for AIDS and cures for cancer, to name a few, could very well rest with an undiscovered species on the brink of extinction. Or even worse, the organisms that held the secret could have already been destroyed. When one is confronted with starvation and poverty in the present, this person drops all concerns about the future and focuses on a quick fix for the problem at hand. With starvation and poverty being so prevalent in the third world countries, in which most of the world's forests exist, the quick fix becomes deforestation to make room for farming. Considering this aspect, it is easily understood why people insist on cutting down forests. They have no other choice and are not willing to starve to death in order to ensure that the future exists for the next generation. Anti-deforestation activists suggest that raising the standard of living in these countries would give their citizens the freedom to secure a more stable future. The quickest solution to deforestation would be to simply stop cutting down trees. Though deforestation rates have slowed a bit in recent years, financial realities make this unlikely to occur. A more workable solution is to carefully manage forest resources by eliminating clear cutting to make sure that forest environments remain intact. The cutting that does occur should be balanced by the planting of enough young trees to replace the older ones filled in with given forests. The number of new tree plantations is growing each year, but their total still equals a tiny fraction of the Earth's forest land. According to the UNESCO Courier, if these changes are made, the loss of land will drop from 35 million acres a year, about the size of Austria, to less than half of that. When one analyzes humanity's overall effect on the planet, one can draw similarities between humanity and a disease. Just as a disease plagues an organism's existence, so too does humanity plague Earth. Nothing wastes more natural resources than the average human being. Levels of pollution have grown exponentially since the first sight of humanity a few thousand years ago, to the level where Earth's own ozone layer is being torn open. Factories, air conditioners, automobiles, oil spills, plastics, and wars are all contributing to the turning of the Earth's once rich, clean planet into a wasteland of trash heaps, pavement, smog-filled skies, and chemical-filled waters. From Earth's perspective, humanity is a sickness that needs to be cured. Also, much like a disease spreads throughout an organism, so too will humanity spread throughout its spatial organism, the solar system. Until humanity can coexist in nature, giving as much back as it takes, there will always be a conflict and a lower probability of a healthy future. Though the problem is obviously much bigger than deforestation, it would be a good idea to start with eliminating deforestation or making it more environmentally friendly. Wood, after all, is one of the most important resources to man. In order